I think one of the things that we need in our lives is absolute acceptance. And what I mean with absolute acceptance is accepting all the things that are in your life and all the things that are not in your life, and accepting how you feel about that. So whatever you have as an issue in your life, we tend to find a solution for that problem. And then we have a lot of pain connected with the solution. Actually, not with the problem, but with the solution. Let's say you want to lose weight, you want to start a fitness regime, and you want to start a diet. And after 2 days, it doesn't work anymore. You don't do the fitness, you don't stick with the diet. Then you're going to start to make lots of restrictions for yourself, and you're going to start to be very harsh towards yourself with the thing that you're not doing because you were supposed to do it. So the suffering is no longer about you being overweight or not fit. That's not the suffering anymore. The suffering is the solution that you have found to the problem. And that is one of the ego tricks that the ego pulls, you know? If instead you could have an acceptance to your overweight, and you could have an acceptance to you not accepting that you're overweight, and an acceptance to you wanting to make plans for it to work, and an acceptance for you not making it work at all. It doesn't work for you. That is absolute acceptance, because you're creating a space where you are fully accepting what is. And it is there anyway. I mean, you don't like your body, you don't like how you look, you want to change that, but you do not accept it. That's how it is. Creating space for that completely disarms the ego. And it creates a gap for you to become aware of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the non-dual teachings. Because non-duality is the insight that we sometimes get in a small glimpse. Some of us sometimes get in a small glimpse where everything falls away and we just are. There's no expectations, there's no plans, there's no drama, there's no entertainment, there's no he said, she said, I should, and all of that. All that falls away and you experience just being. You know? Form is emptiness and emptiness is form. Non-duality is the teaching that everything happens at the same time and everything is the same. Nothing is separate. Everything is a part of the same. What you perceive as your reality, you only perceive as your reality because you perceive it through your senses. So you hear and you see and you smell and you taste and you feel. And all that information the mind takes and creates a story about it, an opinion about it, assumptions about it, judgment about it. And that is what we perceive as me, myself and I, and you and yours. So if I have a strawberry and I smell the strawberry and I take a bite of the strawberry and I taste the strawberry, the strawberry is real. But the me that smell and taste the strawberry, that's not real. That is the experience that I have through my senses. And all the opinions that I have about strawberries are not real either. They're completely self-created. That's why we have, some people think strawberry is the best and other people think it's the worst. It doesn't say anything about strawberries at all. It's just saying something about the person that utters the opinion about strawberries. The strawberry is the same, no matter what you think about it. So all those thoughts we can have about other people and ourselves and our everyday life and the bins not being taken out and the laundry the washing machine not being emptied and how strawberry taste and how the neighbor's kids look and all that. All that is self-created drama, and it's not real. It's only real for you. You're the only one that perceives your reality as real. And every single argument you have had in your life has been created because you have created a story and somebody didn't live up to your expectations, and then that created an emotion in you, and you acted on that emotion, not the reality that actually was. So if you and I are meeting, right, and I'm standing and waiting for you and you're 10 minutes late, and then you come, and then I'm so angry for standing and waiting for you, and you were supposed to be here and we had an appointment. It's always like that with you. You never ever keep up your end of the bargain. It's always me being here. I'm always reaching out, and I have taken time off work to be able to be here, and then you disrespect me this much and all that. And it goes on and on and on. All that is something that I create in my mind. It's assumptions that I create in my mind. And I create a story in my mind about why you have done as you have. I haven't even asked you. And no matter what you say, that can't influence my story at all. You can say, I was hit by a car, and then I might think, oh my goodness, but then it's okay that you're too late. You're 10 minutes late, you know? Or you say, yeah, I was too lazy getting out of the door, and that might not help me accepting that you're late. But the thing is that you are late for our appointment has no meaning whatsoever. If you don't like me and you deliberately decide to be 10 minutes late, that is your story. That still doesn't have anything to do with me. And I hope that when I'm explaining it like this, that you're starting to get like the glimpse of what non-duality actually is. That whatever suffering you have in your life, whatever stories you create, they're yours. You have created that. The suffering that you have with those stories are yours because you have created that. What I would like with this podcast, because I've been teaching about this since 2004, and what I have experienced is that it's not that easy. It's not that easy to let go of, you know. I might say, well, non-duality is just all the stories you create and put on top of something. You don't need to do that. You can just let go of all of it, and what is, and that's the only thing there is. For some people it might be enough. Then some people go like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that makes sense, and then done and dusted. That's it. But for the majority of people, it's not like that. And understanding this can't be forced, because as soon as you start to force something, the ego takes over, and it's no longer possible to really be, because you're in the story. For a lot of people, non-dual teachings also become very painful, because yes, it's super simple, and yes, it's very logical, and yes, it's very, very unproblematic, and it's just, doing it, everything falls away and that's it. But if you have, like the majority of people, if you have early trauma and you have created different survival mechanisms to manage that early trauma, then you do have some mechanisms that can't just fall away. So let's say the story before with the example where you and I are meeting and you're late. If I have early trauma that is about abandonment, then you being late is triggering that profound feeling of abandonment. And when children, toddlers and children have experienced abandonment from their parents or the caregivers, it's so profound because our survival depends on it. So because we have had a full life creating a reality where we are avoiding the feeling of abandonment, that has created and shaped our personality and our identity. And that is what we're attached to. That feeling of, yes, I might experience abandonment sometimes, but I'm not dying of it, so I'm still here. That is ego, obviously, but it helps us getting by, it helps us survive. And that can't just fall away. For some people it can, but for the majority of people it can't. For the majority of people we need a lot of compassion and a lot of absolute acceptance of what is. So what I could do then, let's say I have the early trauma about abandonment, you're 10 minutes late, and I'm standing there waiting for you, and I feel triggered, I feel unloved, I feel I feel abandoned by our friendship. What I can do in that instant when I'm standing there waiting is breathing and asking myself, what is right now? Well, I have a huge feeling of abandonment. Okay, can I have a body where I allow the feeling of abandonment to be there? Can I accept the feeling of abandonment? And either it's a yes, I can, or it's a no, I can't. Let's say it's a no, I can't. I can't accept that I'm standing here waiting for my friend and they're late and I feel abandoned. I can't accept that feeling. I do not want that feeling. Okay. Then I inquire again. Can I accept that I do not want what is right now? It doesn't change what is. Can I accept that what is right now is something that I don't want? And yeah, that one I can accept. I can accept that life right now is not the way that I want it. And I can accept that I feel a feeling that I don't want. I can contain that in my body, and I can accept that in my body. And then I would be standing and breathing with myself in a body with a feeling that I don't want, but it's okay. I can be with a body that don't want that feeling, and I can be with me not wanting that feeling. And that is absolute accepting. And then when you arrive, I will have done a lot of the work. So when you arrive, I don't have to rip your head off. And I will be aware of that right now in me, I have a feeling of abandonment. It's not about you, but I feel abandoned, and I struggle feeling abandoned, this feeling of abandonment in me. So what is something I'm really, really struggling with. And then I could share that with you, or I might feel I don't want to share it with you because it's too vulnerable, don't want to talk about it. But then I can say, right now I have a feeling, I can't share it, I can't talk about it, but could you just give me some space in the feeling that I have that I don't want? So in that instance, I am creating an even bigger space for myself for whatever is present that I don't want and that I can't accept. But I accept that I can't accept it. And that's absolute acceptance. When you do that, then in some weird way, you actually allow the ego to have all the drama and all the fear and all the shame and the guilt and the anger present. You allow that being present, but you're not piling on. And that, in a weird way, creates a living experience of non-duality. So what I'm trying to do with this, what I would like to do with this podcast is to create a space where I'm teaching about non-duality, which is an oxymoron because you can't teach non-duality. Nevertheless, I'm going to try to do that. And I'm gonna talk about absolute acceptance in everything. There are different tools, different things which can be done, like the one I just gave you. A tool like that about absolute acceptance helps you to find the gap where you, on one side, have the pure being, and that's the non-duality, and on the other side, you have all the suffering, you have all the hindrances, all the sufferings, all the cravings, all the resistance, all the anger and fear and guilt and shame, and all of the full drama that the ego creates. You have that on the other side. So there are very, very, very good teachings that can unveil that kind of insight of what you already are. And it's what I would like to use this podcast to talk about, to help you get an absolute acceptance of what is. So it's basically attempting the impossible, and I hope you're going to enjoy that. And I hope that that is going to help you to, whether you find it easy to live with non-duality and the non-self, whether you find it easy or whether you find it difficult, I hope that it's going to be enjoyable. I hope that it's going to give a different angle to issues that you have. And if you find non-duality so complicated, and you tend to go into nihilism, or you tend to go into to spiritual bypassing, I mean, that's almost the worst. The spiritual bypassing is when you know about non-duality. Let's say you and I are standing there, I'm standing waiting for you. You're still 10 minutes late. And I do a spiritual bypassing about it. Then I would say, okay, I know about non-duality. I know that none of this is real. I know that the feeling that I have is not real. I know that the feeling of abandonment is not real because my friend would never abandon me. I know it's something I have created in my mind. I can just let all of it fall away. The problem with that is that's gaslighting. I mean, that's horrendous. That's denying what is, and it's completely gaslighting. And you don't need that in your life. And try to see how many times during a day that you're actually gaslighting yourself for things that you have a very, very clear emotion, but you do not want that emotion. And then you minimize it and ridicule yourself, gaslighting yourself, instead of just accepting that you have a feeling that you don't want to have. So yeah. That's what I'm going to talk about. I'm really looking forward to this.